Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. In the last episode, we did a Minmus flyby for another pile of science. That was pretty successful. And then we designed a new rocket. Took a bit longer to get through it because there wasn't quite the parts that I was kind of hoping I would have. But I was able to put together a rocket that had a big old lander on it that we sent to the moon to land on the moon. The landing went flawlessly. There was no problems whatsoever with the landing. No. The lander tipped over and had to try to find a way to get back into off the surface, and managed to get it done without destroying too much of the ship. Had enough left to get home safely. So that was good. No rescue missions needed, and no memorials needed either. So that's good. I realized what the problem was on subsequent viewing of the recording is that the cryogenic engine that I was using, which is the first time I've ever used that engine, because it's a new mod that I have installed that I've never played with before, so I wanted to try it out, which is why I used it on that lander. Apparently, when I separated the lower stage and freed up the lander, the engine bell of the cryogenic engine actually telescopes out into its final operating position, and that provided the additional length that I wasn't expecting that it was going to have, and why, when I got down to the surface, suddenly my landing legs didn't touch the ground. So I'll have to be mindful of that in the future when using those cryogenic engines. Make sure that they don't have any kind of articulation or telescoping parts that will cause problems. So, yeah, that's fine. Now we need to run a manned landed mission to Minmus as our next primary goal. We have nowhere near, gotten all the science we can off the moon yet. But we're going to be doing that probably with a lot of unmanned probes in the future, but we're going to have to set up for that. But I do want to do a manned mission to Minmus, just because I want to put a Kerbal on the surface of as many bodies in the system as I can. And so I at least want to put a lander with a Kerbal on Minmus, take it off, bring it home. So that's the next plan. We do have a pretty good pile of science. There is just one issue. Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to unlock here, but there are two particular elements that I really want to unlock before anything else. One is the advanced fuel systems, which gets us the additional large fuel tanks that I'm going to need for some of the future missions. And I'm also going to need a very heavy rocketry, which gets us the engines that I was actually looking for last time I designed this rocket. So, yeah, that's what I need. All of these guys here. So, we don't have enough for that. We're at 515 science. We're going to need 550 science for the very heavy rocketry. We're going to need 160 science for the advanced fuel system. So we're going to need around 200-ish more science to unlock both of those. So we're going to run another mission. And I have an idea of what we're going to do. And it's actually going to be a suborbital flight. We're going to launch a rocket for a suborbital flight. And see what we can get out of it. Alright, so let's see. I think it's going to be one of the needle rockets. Let's see, let's take a look at Needle 1. That may be enough. The problem is going to be I want that Science Junior. Or I could design an entirely new rocket. You know what? We're gonna design an entirely new rocket with to also flight test a few parts. We'll throw that in there as well. It's not really necessary, but you know, just for some RP purposes. Okay, so I want the big Mark 1-3 command pod that has a 3-person crew. And we're going to set up the payload for science. I did add a few other things. I did add a few more mods in there, and I'll try to make sure that I add those into the... I really need to set this up as a sub component. This service bay here. Or sub-assembly is what it's called. Alright, so let's see. With the 4 goo containers, the 4 thermometers, the 4 barometers. Let's see if I can get them in a better position there. And a couple of batteries. Just 2. Can I get him in there? Well, I think we'll ignore the battery right now. We're gonna go ahead and just put Can I actually slip the battery inside? I can put it there. You know, that would be fine. Let's see. These have what? Electric charge of 300, that has an electric charge of 200. I can put a couple batteries in a stack there. That works. There's some clipping, but you know what? We're going to mostly be keeping that service bay closed, so I don't much care. Alright, so... Oh. Icon. I want to give it, I guess, the science icon? I guess we'll go with that. Oh, sub-assembly drop zone. There you go. This is Science Bay. Save. There you go. So now I could potentially, you know, make a whole bunch of those. All right, good. And for this, we're going to want a large parachute cone there. Alright, so this is kind of what I was doing at the beginning of, well, during my first attempt to design a rocket. So we're going to try that again. We are going to need a heat shield, even though this is going to be suborbital. There we are. And then we're going to need... a 2.5 meter stack decoupler, and we're gonna need some 2.5 meter fuel tanks. I'm thinking a single tank is probably all we're going to need. could be wrong. We'll see. Alright, now the engine we're going to throw on here is going to be... not that one. There's the skipper. I think it's, what, 3,300 meters per second delta V? The 2.10 thrust-to-weight ratio. That's not bad. That is definitely not bad. That'll work. Alright. We just need some stability. Aerodynamics. And... let's see. Structural... ground pylons. Huh. That must come from something else, a mod, that I'm not aware of. And it doesn't appear to want to work. Alright, whatever. We'll just use these then. Alright. So we make sure that we want to light that engine and release the clamps at the same time. Yep, that and then that should be perfectly fine. Okay. Let's see. This is going to be... Hopper 2? Yeah, that'll be fine. Alright, who's going on this mission? So who flew on the last one? I'm pretty sure Valentina did not fly. Bill's never actually flown a mission. Valentina, Bill, and Bob. We'll do that. Alright, let's go ahead and launch this thing. And see what we're going to do. Alright. Throttle all the way up. And let's launch. Oh, stability assist on, and then let's launch. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to start pushing the nose that direction. I'm going to start arcing to the north because I want to land. I want to land on the pole. Alright, so we're going to have to watch our trajectory. We do have to kind of like angle to the west a little bit to compensate for the rotation of the planet. Wish I could see what my fuel tank looks like. We are probably going a little too fast. Alright. Let's let it calm down a little bit. Hopefully. Alright. Reignite the engine. This is one way to get to the North Pole. Alright. There we are. That should bring us down on to the polar ice cap. Alright. Let's see, you have 172 meters per second of delta V left in the tank. Alright. The flight itself really doesn't matter. It's going to be the re-entry where things are going to be interesting. Alright, we apparently have an EVA report we need to take. Bob. Can you take care of that real quick? EVA report. Keep it. Reboard. Okay. Let's... Right. 82,000. 81,000. Another EVA report. Keep it. Reboard. Go. Let's burn off those meters per second. Ditch the engine. I probably should have rotated off to the side a little bit before deploying that engine on that tank. But it should hopefully be okay. We should take different trajectories. Alright. Now, we should be stable. So it should not need the stability assist for this re-entry. We are coming in really fast. But it's a bit of an aggressive. Temperature scan. Yeah, take it. Crew report. Take it. EVA report. No. We're not going to EVA report until we are floating on the parachutes, which we can go ahead and deploy. Yeah, you definitely would not want to kind of step out into a 150 meter per second wind. Alright, yep, there we are. That's where we're coming down. Oh, that was something hitting the ground. Alright, and there are our chutes fully deploying. We're down to 5.8 meters per second. That's more doable. Alright. Bob. EVA again. Take data, store data, EVA report. EVA report, keep it. board. We need every last bit of science we can get. Alright, let's accelerate time, get to the ground. And there we are. Temperature scan. Do it. Mystery goo observation. Do it. Material study. Do it. Crew report. Do it. Atmospheric pressure scan. And another EVA report. EVA report. Yes. Take a surface sample. Yes. Take and store the experiments. Board. And I think that's everything. So let's recover that vessel. Let's see how much we got. $61.4. Not quite enough. It is enough to unlock the engines, though, which are the really important bits. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that. Okay. So we need to redesign this lander. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up. What was it, Dagger 1? Yeah. Alright, so we need to rethink this thing a little bit. So, now we have the new engines, we can replace some of these. Alright. There we go. So let's see. Yeah, you guys there. Those need to burn when those separate. 1.8 thrust to weight. Well, we're carrying a bunch of this, so no, that's probably not the one I want there. No, not that one either. Definitely not this one. Nope. Well, this might have to be the one that stays on there. Nope, that one still doesn't fit. And this is why I wanted those other fuel tanks, because we get these larger versions of these things, which can mount the bigger engines. Alright. This engine's probably fine as an upper stage. That engine's definitely fine as an upper stage. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop that off. See? Yep. If I go ahead and extend these, I look at it, there's definitely a space between the bottom of the legs and the bottom of that bell, but that's what it does when you deploy it. So yeah, that is not going to work. We're going to have to rethink the entire descent engine and liftoff engine. The reason why I want to go with those cryogenic fuel tanks is because they're very light. Body, moon. Let's see. So we went just a straight liquid engine. With something like that, 1200 meters per second, delta V. Actually, something I might want to do instead of that is do this. That engine on there. 759 meters per second. We're going to need more fuel on it. So we're going to do something similar to what we did before, but we're going to be using the liquid engines. We're going to need aerodynamic cones on top of those. Let's see. Do I have a tank that I can put under there? Procedural liquid tank cone. There we go. Let's see what texture we want to give it. Plain white's probably fine. Wait a minute, that's a monopropellant tank. That is not what we want. That's a monopropellant tank. Alright. Let's use this then. Let's see, if we go with the same height but a narrower diameter. That could work. And then we have our cone on top of that. But it won't let us go with a narrower diameter than 1 meter. Interesting. So I want these cones to be fuel tanks as well, right? Right, and the same thing on the bottom. Like that. Well, there's actually fuel cross-feed without the, well, using these external fuel ducts. (2,600 meters per second). That is definitely good enough for what we're going to do. Then we would just need to put our legs back on here. And we need our solar panels, obviously, and our life support. So, where are we doing? Ground. Landing struts. Let's make sure. There's going to be plenty of clearance between the bottom of the bell and the feet. And if these things don't change shape... No. Okay, good. Retract that. And then we're going to need our 1x6 photovoltaics, which we're going to nestle in there as well. And then our life support. Additional life support. There we go. As we did before. And like I did before, we're going to set up the action group to toggle the solar panel. There we go. Alright, so there is the version 2 lander. And now we just need to make sure the staging of all of this is correct. Which it already does look like it is. It is not. Okay, so you guys... we want to make sure that the clamps release... and those guys fire. Do I want to separate this? Do I want the center to fire at the same time as the rest of them? Thrust to weight 6.71. Oh, this is for Moon. Hold on, switch back to Kerbal. Yes, we are definitely going to want that center engine to fire as well. Center engine fires. Okay, that gives us a 2.44 thrust to weight. Excellent. And then when we cut those loose, the separator engines fire, that push them away. Then we break this one and ignite that engine. And then we break that one. And ignite that engine. Alright, so this one and then that engine. And then this one and then that engine. Yes. Okay. And it even looks more aerodynamic. Alright. So this is going to be the Dagger 1A. Save. And who is going to fly it? I think Dealey flew it before. Let's actually see who's in the astronaut complex. We might want to bring in some new ones. Oh, this is different. Bulk hire selector. I need a Kerbal. Alright, so we have a pilot and a scientist. There we go. Haven and Mito. Perfect. Let's see, for these guys I use these light blue colors. Alright. So, I think we are ready to launch. Maybe. Command and control. We don't have any RCS thrusters. We do have this inline reaction wheel, but it's not going to be big enough. We do need some RCS and some better reaction wheels and everything, but this will have to do. Alright. Let's launch it. Alright. Stability assist. Full throttle. And let's get it going. You can actually probably throttle it back a little bit because we're starting to get shock effects. We did put a much more powerful engine on there. Alright, let's crank that up. Back to full throttle. Alright, and then those side boosters are going to run out here in a second. There they go. we're starting to actually get some heating. Alright, there goes the main stage. Dump it. Let's get us some more altitude. Actually, let's begin burning. Try to get some horizontal velocity. Apoapsis' height is pushing up to 100,000 meters, which I think is probably we're going to cut the engines off. There we go. All right, let's add a maneuver. There we go. Orient to that node. We have a nearly 2-minute launch, so we have to begin firing right about 1 minute. Let's see, we have 1,200 meters per second in the tank. We need a 1,400 meters per second burn. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and fire it now. And I screwed up. Like, seriously screwed up. I hit the space bar instead of the throttle. Excellent. All right then. Well, that's an abort. Which I did not check this stage. That stage is not right. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Well, let me go ahead and just deal with this. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to successfully recover, but I think I'll go ahead and pause recording while I get this back down to the ground, and then we will attempt this liftoff again and not press the wrong button this time. All right, be back in a minute. Okay, so there we are. Back down to the surface. No problems. Except it's running very low in the water. But that's okay. Let's recover it. And let's try again. Alright, I want to get my 2 new Kerbals to still try to fly this, because that was my mistake. One more time. Oh well. It's good practice. And let's go ahead and fix this staging before I forget. Up there. Okay, good. Oh, don't be too aggressive there. Okay, stability assist. the same thing where you throttle it back a little bit while we move through the thick part of the atmosphere. Alright. We don't want to be rotated too far over before we separate these boosters. There they go. I'm gonna try and get some more lateral out of that. Okay. Release. Let it fall away a little bit. Ignite. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and save the engine. And we did a pretty vertical launch. So it's going to need a lot of delta V to circularize. 1,700. Still going to be more than what we have in the tank. Alright, orient to the node. It's going to be like a 3-minute burn. Okay, go ahead and... I almost did it again. Begin that burn. The orbit doesn't have to be pretty, just you need to get in orbit. Let's see how we're looking. Looking all right. Good. Periapsis height. That's what we're looking for. This is a lot heavier, so you may need actually some of the thrust available to us in the actual lander to get us where we need to go. All right, let's drop in quickly. Getting ready for cutoff. 7, 8, and 9. Okay, there we go. In orbit. Okay. So, Minmus. They do the same thing. We're going to do a plane change maneuver. We actually have it coming up right here. Descending node, add a maneuver. Oh, no, we need to flip it around like that. 4.1, 3.3, 0.07, 0.1. Zero. Alright. Orient to the node again. Alright, and we need to deploy the solar panels. Very good. 237.1 meters per second. That's a lot of delta V for a plane change. But that should be fine. It's going to be a 30-second burn. So we're going to need to get down to 15 seconds T-minus. T-minus 30 seconds. And hit it. And kill it. Oh. Overdid it a little bit. I hit the wrong button. Okay. Gotta watch where my fingers are. Alright, let's check our node. 0.02 degrees. We should be fine. Well, this means we'll probably come into a little bit of a polar orbit as opposed to an equatorial orbit, but that's actually fine. Okay, so Minmus is there. I like to look. Actually, Minmus and the moon are like directly aligned. All right, add a maneuver. Let's get ourselves out to Minmus orbit. Alright, there's our approach. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get it more like this. Trying to conserve a little bit of fuel. Alright, so if we take the node and we swing it around a little bit. No, apparently not. Yeah, we are going to have to come high and then come back down. And then that will get us where we need to be. Periapsis, 654,000 meters. But that's good enough. 901 meters per second. Delta V, we have 1,200 meters per second in the tank. That is more than sufficient. Now the actual orbital maneuvers in Minmus are going to be tricky. We'll have about 300 meters per second left. 340 meters per second, so we should hopefully have enough to get ourselves into orbit. Alright, so we have a 1 minute and 36 second long burn. We need to start in 18 minutes, so... just trying to work out in my head when I need to start the burn. So we'll start the burn at 48, T-minus 48 seconds. Alright. So let's get ourselves there. Three minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Alright, T-minus 48 seconds. There we go. Okay, we're about halfway through the burn. That engine bell's heating up pretty good. Electric charge is fine. Plenty of life support supplies. Oh, we just had a moon encounter. I think we overshot a little bit. Okay. Alright, so let's flip retrograde. And we're going to need to slow ourselves down just a tad. That gets us what? A periapsis of 75,000 meters on what appears to be a polar orbit. This is fine. That is actually perfect. Okay. Let's turn the ship around so we're getting good exposure for our solar panels. That's a little bit of a cheat right there. If you... oh no. They seem to have fixed that. It used to be that if you went into time acceleration, it would zero out all your all your rotations. So if you were rotating and you didn't want it to stop real quick, you just time accelerate for a second and it would stop you. But looks like that has been changed. It's actually good. Alright, let's go ahead and get us out to our Minmus encounter. Alright, there we are. How much delta V do I need? Hold on, let's get rid of the time acceleration for the moment. To circularize in orbit. 181.6 meters per second. We have 341. Alright, good. Hold the maneuver. 16 seconds. Alright, so T minus 8. Six, 5. We don't need to be quite as precise here. It just needs to be good enough. And go. And there we are. Pretty good. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is make sure that we're going to come down on the light side of the moon. Because I want to be able to see what I'm doing. So we're going to do a burn on the dark side to bring us down to a low altitude. That ought to do. Okay. Let's get us there. Oh, went past it. All right. Not even going to worry about the maneuver node anymore. We just need to be retrograde. I would like a relatively flat space to land on. Alright. Let's accelerate and let's see where we are at as we swing around. Okay, we're not going to have any nice, flat, low areas to land on, unfortunately. But we might be able to land there. Alright, we have 177 meters per second orbital velocity. We have 137 left in the tank. Let's see where this gets us. It's probably going to want me to do EVA reports. Alright. Alright. So we're going to burn off our velocity. Some of it. Okay, that looks good. That definitely looks good. Now, I want to make sure that we're oriented in a way that I can actually fly this thing. Okay. I want to make sure that we're going to get onto this flat area here. I don't want to be on that slope. Alright, there it is. Jettison it. Landing legs. Let's retract the solar panels so that they don't suffer any adverse effects when we hit the ground. Hopefully at a safe and slow speed. Okay, there's our shadow. We still have tons of Delta V. I don't need to worry about my fuel. Oh, we need to be on surface. Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah. So I was like, we're drifting laterally. We are drifting significantly. Okay. There we go. Oh, come on. There we are. Okay. Now we're good. Now it's just gonna be a matter of regulating speed as we come down. Alright, let's slow her down. 5 meters per second. to find that happy little spot right where the speed stays steady. Alright, I want to slow it down a little bit more. Slow it down just a tad. And cut engines. Oh, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no, no. No, no, no. Oh. Oh, dang it. Definitely wants a tip. Can I... Why do you want to tip? Stop tipping. Oh boy. Why did it want to tip on me? Come on, where is that? Where is that retrograde? Oh. Okay. Okay. Why are you giving me so much grief? Oh, no, no, no. It just wants to bounce. Come on. Settle down. Settle down. And we are down. Hands off the controls. Whew. Okay. Okay. Success. Alright, how much energy do we have in the batteries? Alright, I want to... Let's see, where's the hatch? There's the hatch. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to deploy the solar panels on this side of the craft, away from where the Kerbals are going to emerge. Okay. I can tell that this is like, it's definitely sloped. And it still wants to tip over because it's just too tall. I'm afraid of what's going to happen if I turn that stability assist off. Yep. Okay, this landing site is not going to work. Not with this vehicle. That's fine. Alright, let's see. Can I get us to head... east? So we're looking at... 90. There. Okay. I want to come down into there, so let's see. I want to aim myself a little bit further south. I probably should have took some recordings. Okay. And there. All right. We'll let ourselves come up to a little bit higher altitude here. Okay. There we are. I'm guessing it's gonna actually... Yep. Retract those solar panels. Retract those solar panels. Okay. I want to start slowing down. But I want to make sure that my landing spot is still going to be on the flat area. Go. Let's see. Oh, no, no, no. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, come on. Okay. There's the orientation I'm looking for. Okay. We need to slow down. Not so much. Just slow down a little bit. 3.5 meters per second. 3.2, 3.1, 2.5, 2.4, and kill the engines. Disable the stability assist. There we go. Yes. Okay. All right. That was good. Okay. It's like not exactly what I was, thinking I was gonna have to do, but hey, we got here. All right. It took 2 attempts, but we're down, and we're down safely. Okay, let's get those solar panels out. Let's get those science experiments run. Temperature scan. The thermometer suddenly reads NAN. One of the wires must have come loose again. Alright, Mr. Goo observation. The goo is erupting into dance. Material study. As you open the doors, a sample dashes past to taste the surface. Alright. Crew report. Look up at Kerbin and it looks smaller than ever. You think you can just about make out the moon, too. Let's see. Another atmospheric pressure scan. Collected and recorded atmospheric pressure data from the surroundings. Okay. Alright. I think our scientist is going to EVA first. Let's go ahead and take and store the data. Take your EVA report. As far as you can tell, low gravity, the ground is firm underfoot and not as slippery as you had expected. Alright. Okay, so let's go ahead and collect the data from there, and let's restore. Alright, let's take that surface sample. It's 150 science. Alright, you want to get your helmet off and taste the sample. Instead, you'll pull yourself together and continue with the mission. There you go. Okay, so let's go ahead and place our flag. Alright. Let's say first landing. First Minmus landing. Second time this second time's the charm. There we go. Which is a contradiction. What was that? Something just... There's another EVA report I can take? That's odd. Huh. Alright. Well, let's see if I can get Mito here back aboard the ship. Piece of cake. I think you can probably actually achieve orbit with the suit's RCS thrusters here. Alright, and just so nobody gets left out, we're going to take Haven Kerman and have an EVA here as well. Ah, got that EVA report. And I can see if I can get to that slope there without, you know, having an unfortunate incident. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hit a little hard there, but should be okay. There we go. Another surface sample. Excellent. You take a handful of snow, ice, and dirt and put it into your sample bag. You hope the science team on Kerbal will figure out what it is and why it's not suitable for Kerbal consumption. Unfortunately, I can't take another EVA report. Alright, well. Let's head back to the ship. Got 2 surface samples. So this should be a fairly effective mission for us in terms of the science department. Let's try and slow down and have a bit of a softer landing this time. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get back aboard. Alright, and let's see if we can get home. Now, I want to orient myself this direction. I like to give my apoapsis somewhere around 15-20,000. There we go. Let's get us back into orbit. It's going to be an 11-second burn. Minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. not going to do an EVA report. In the middle of a burn. Now we can do the EVA report. Okay, there we are. So, we need to figure out how to get back home. And what I'm thinking is we probably want to burn somewhere around there. Okay. Or maybe probably somewhere closer to there? Well, let's just burn that, and then we'll make the adjustments to the orbit once we've actually exited the sphere of influence. Alright, it's going to be a 20-second burn. Overshot. No big deal. We just need to get an escape velocity here, and then we can make the adjustments from there. That'll do. All right. Okay, so now we are there, and I want to retrograde relative to Kerbin. And I want to bring that periapsis height down to about 30,000 meters. Alright, and that trajectories mod uses up a lot of processing. Calculate those aerobraking maneuvers. There we go. That'll do. Alright. So there's the planet. And it's good news that we appear to be coming down over the day side. Just so. Alright, let's ditch the lower section and get to the re-entry capsule. And now we begin re-entry. And I should be able to... Oh. Yeah, that guy's coming apart. Yeah, they're saying I should be able to hands-free this at this point. Ablator is fine. Oh. I do not like where it's bringing me down. I do not like that at all. Oh well, not much choice at this point. Because again, we are in the process, so the only control I have is when I deploy my chutes. All right, we're slowing down pretty good. And we have all of our chutes this time. In fact, let's deploy those chutes. Let's start hitting the brakes now. Because I don't want to land on that slope there. Here should be okay. There, not so much. Alright, chutes deployed. And it looks like we're going to have a fairly soft landing on a relatively flat stretch of ground. Perfect. Alright, and there we are. On the ground, safe. Let's recover that vessel and see what we got. $741.5 science. Booyah. Alright. That's going to get us lots of new toys. We're going to get those new fuel tanks. Yes. Alright, we have a few other things we need to grab here. I need specialized construction, which is going to get the Clampatron docking port. Aerodynamics. See, heavy command modules. Advanced flight control. This is going to get us some RCS stuff. Yeah, let's grab that. Space exploration. Cargo storage units. Propadyne experiment control system. Yep, let's grab that. Recycling module and recycling module. Storage technology. Heat management systems. Is this anything I need to really worry about? No, we have no parts in that line, so I don't need to worry about it. Let's see. Precision engineering gives us a bunch of stuff. We need to head to electronics, which gets us our seismic accelerator, relay antennas, high power electrics. Let's go ahead and grab that and grab the precision engineering. And there we go. Okay. So that got us a bunch of new stuff. But I think we are done for the episode. And so we will decide what it is we're going to be doing next time. We may begin preparing for unmanned missions and see what we can do there. Alright, but for now, we'll stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.